I had a terrifying dream last night. We were all at the wheel of Quizzy Quizzy Bang Bang and I was Connecticus Potts. Everything was dark and foggy and impossible to navigate. But then the child catcher was crushed to death by the connecting wall. On which happy note, let's meet tonight's teams. On my right, Tessa North, a sales assistant with a master's degree in creative writing who is currently working on her first science fiction novel. Pete Sorrell Cameron, an actor and musician who won the Best International Male Award at a South Korean music festival. And their captain, Richard Aubrey, a secondary school teacher and keen musician who's allergic to lions. All keen instrumentalists, they are the string section, a team of musicians. Are there any musical genres you haven't mastered?
Well, Pete writes a mean music quiz that we do quite regularly, but since we were all born in, the 80s, I think we're hoping for nothing earlier than Queen.
Excellent. You are facing, on my left, Duncan Enright, a town and district councillor and school governor with a yellow belt in karate. Dave Robinson, a magazine editor who co-curated an exhibit at the Science Museum on the history of electronic music since the 1950s. And their captain, Paddy Baker, also a magazine editor who performs with a jazz choir and holds a Guinness World Record for being part of the largest coconut orchestra ever assembled. United by a passion for the press, they are the headliners. How have you been preparing for Only Connect?
Well, my teammates have both been quite assiduous, but personally it's been more like school exam revision, more thinking about it than actually doing it.
What areas have you thought about revising?
I'd spent a lot of time sticking flags onto bits of card.
Irrelevant to tonight's quiz. Or is it? Let's play round one. What is the connection between four apparently random clues? Headliners, you won the toss, but you've chosen to put the strings section in first. So, Richard, please choose an Egyptian hieroglyph.
Well, because it sounds the most musical. 2 reeds.
It's not the music question. Unlucky. You will see 4 apparently random clues, but if you can tell me the right answer after fewer than 4 clues, you will get more points. Your time starts now.
Oh, any idea what postcode would that be? Is it different from postcode? License plate?
It looks like a license plate.
Oh, it could be. A license plate. OK, fine. Can we go next, please?
There's a postcode.
OK, well, maybe it's the most northerly thing in the county, because, like, Northwood would usually be NLP. Well, yeah, but it's
that's not about shelf, actually, yeah. It's locality, OK. One more, though, do you reckon? Do you want to go with that? Can we go next, please?
3 seconds.
Despite their postcodes, they're not actually in that county.
Not the right answer, I'm afraid, so I'm going to show the 4th clue to the headliners. You have the chance of a possible bonus point.
We think they're royal palaces.
I think I'm going to accept it. Can you put it another way?
Royal residences.
That'll do. They're residences, because the first one is Sandringham House. Yes, you said you hoped Queen would come up. In a way, Queen has come up. Her Majesty the Queen's residences. We're looking at the postcodes for Sandringham House. What's that second one?
Balmoral.
That's Balmoral. And the third one?
Windsor.
And the 4th one, Buckingham Palace, of course. So all, I suppose, palaces by dint of royals being in them, royal residences. You get a bonus point and the chance to choose a question. What would you like?
Lion, please.
Lion. OK. These are going to be picture clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
Next, please. One chicken, 2 ducks. Next, please. That's Bach, isn't it? Yeah, it's Mr. Bach. Chicken, duck, Bach.
2 ducks.
Duck, rooster. Next, please.
Honey. Honeycomb. Comb. There's comb.
3 seconds.
Combs?
Doesn't apply to all of them, I'm afraid, so you've got the chance for a bonus now, string section.
Bingo calls.
That's not it either. Yes, the second clue might be bingo calls, although I'm not sure what it's got to do with combs. Cock, ducks, Bach, you are correct, and honey, they're terms of endearment. Oh. You know, you say, all right, old cock, what's your cock? Ducks, people say. You're right, ducks. Bach, here in Wales, of course, a common term of endearment, or honey. It's just sweet little epithets. You just haven't been muttering enough nice things at people lately, have you?
Too mean-spirited.
Dear me. No points there then. String section, what would you like?
The horned viper, please.
OK. Still silence. It's not the music question. It's just a normal one. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
You're not supposed to use them. Is it a frame of reference? Next, please.
Sounds like code or something.
Yeah, the way it's phrased, the A. Next, please.
Is this... Oh,
This is what you...
is it something, I don't know, like wording, something?
Yes, it's. We'll take one more. Next, please.
It's just a measurement. There are measurements because it's not measurement.
2 seconds.
They're measurements.
The original things that standard measurement is now based on.
That's exactly it. It's the basis for units of measurement. Quite right. Which measurements did you recognise there?
Well, a thumb is supposed to be an inch, isn't it? The top of
It is an inch. The width at the base of the nail is supposed to be an inch. Yes, that's right. Day's work for a yoke of oxen. What's that?
the working day.
Minimum.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's all based on what an ox can do.
Yes,
God forbid. No, it's an acre. So it's an area. An acre is what a yoke of oxen could plough in a day. London candle, literally a candle. So a candle would be... there would be a London candle being a candle in a gas lamp. And the first one?
The old barley corn measurement.
No, it's grain.
Just for grain?
A grain is a barley grain from the middle of the ear. Yes, they are basis for units of measurement. Well done. Headliners, what would you like?
Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please. Cuckoo's calling. Oh, that's... Is that the... That's the J.K. Rowling under the name of Galbraith. We've got a connection.
Written under
pseudonyms.
Yeah, written under a pseudonym. Didn't she write? She didn't write it.
She was constant reader, wasn't she? Should we take another one? Should we... Do we know about God Bless America?
Don't know about God Bless America.
Next, please.
Peter Pan was written
Jane
by...
Barry.
But he's not called.
3 seconds.
Outside copyright.
That is not correct, I'm afraid. So there's a bonus chance for the string section.
Pastiche.
No, they are not all pastiches. No.
Duncan's got it now, I think.
What has suddenly occurred to you?
Yes, the money from those goes to charity of one kind or another.
That's what it is. They are fundraisers for charity. God Bless America, written by Irving Berlin. The royalties were given to the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America. The Cuckoo's Calling, the J.K. Rowling, that goes to the Soldiers' Charity. She wrote it under a pseudonym, as I heard you saying, but yes, a donation to charity. Dorothy Parker bequeathed her literary estate to whom? No, it was to Martin Luther King. And on his death, it went to the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People. And Peter Pan, of course, J.M. Barrie, bequeathed to Great Ormond Street Hospital. Charity money spinner, so you realised it, but too late. OK, string section, you've got a 50-50 for the music question now. What would you like?
Twisted Flags.
So just an ordinary, dull old non-music question. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Like a red flag with a yellow star. But it could be about the shape itself. Next, please. Red. One's red and one's yellow, so it's red and yellow.
Yeah.
Do you want to go with that? Can we try it? Red and yellow.
It is as simple as that. They are red and yellow. You didn't need to see the next two clues. An MCC tie and Rupert Bear's clothes. All red and yellow. That's not an MCC tie, is it, over there?
It's just my proud school tie, my current school tie.
I approve of you wearing a tie. Mostly people come along in T-shirts with strange things written on. And much though I love those, a man in a tie, I think, shows respect for the quiz. Very nice to see a gentleman in a tie. Do you think that's cruel? They wanted the music question, you wanted flags. Completely the wrong way around. Yes, I think there's going to be a little chord for you. Let's hear it. Say the word.
Water, please.
There it is, water. It is the music question, funnily enough. What is the connection between these musical clues? Here's the first.
Food. Next, please. Next, please.
Sandy Shore.
Sandy Shore.
One day that you say that you care. If you say you love me madly, I'd gladly be there like a puppet on a string.
Next, please.
Stay With Me by Shakespeare's Sisters.
You'd better hope
3 seconds.
Literature. English literature.
I'm feeling friendly because this is an
Playwrights.
opening heat. I beg your pardon?
Playwrights.
Playwrights. I might have accepted English
Arthur
literature,
Miller,
but
Bernard Shaw, William Shakespeare, and who was the other one?
Kim Wilde, Oscar
Oscar
Wilde.
Wilde.
that's right. We heard from Glenn Miller, Kim Wilde, Sandy Shaw, Shakespeare's sister. They share their names with playwrights. Very well done.
Very good.
So at the end of round 1, the headliners have 2 points, the string section have 4. Sequences round now, where the teams have to tell me what comes forth in a sequence. They must work out the connection first, of course, otherwise they'd just be shouting random words. And then tell me what would come forth. Obviously, if you can tell me that after fewer than 3 clues, you will get more points. String section, you'll be going first again. What would you like?
Let's keep up the tradition. 2 reads.
2 reads. OK, you'll be seeing the first in a sequence. They're going to be picture clues. What would you expect to see in the 4th picture? Here's the first.
This one direction. Number. Let's go next. Let's go Coldplay, Chris Martin.
Is it something to do with number 1's Christmas?
Oh, cool, I suppose so. Next. Kylie Minogue.
Is it the order they sang on the new?
Yes.
Do they know
Oh, sorry,
Christmas?
but
So
it's
potentially Bono.
it's Bono again. It's Bono again, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Fine. Bono.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So there's a possible bonus chance for the headliners.
Closing ceremony of the Commonwealth Games.
Is what you'd expect to see in the 4th picture.
I'm
afraid you would not be seeing a photograph of the closing ceremony of the Commonwealth Games. String section, why did you say Bono?
Well, I think I figured out what it is.
Right.
Unfortunately, too late. I think it's a picture of Paul Young.
It is a picture of Paul Young. Why is it Paul Young? Why might it have been Bono?
They all sang the opening line to Do They Know It's Christmas?
That's right. Yes. It is versions of Do They Know It's Christmas, going backwards. So Paul Young sang the first line on the original one, then Kylie Minogue, then Chris Martin. And on the 2014 version, who is that in the first picture?
1D and Zayn Malik.
One Direction with its original lineup. Well done for spotting it, but too late, I'm afraid, so I can't give you points. Headliners, what would you like?
Duncan?
Horned Viper.
Horned Viper. What would you expect to come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
So this is the crowning of the coronation.
Okay.
Coronation process. You have the oath and you have the anointing the heads, and you have the actual coronation itself.
Do you want to take another note? Do you want to...
Well, yeah, so in
Next, please.
investiture, then I think it's the coronation.
So is that what you're going to say? You want to say coronation or crowning? Or...
I think so, coronation.
Coronation.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So, string section, there is another bonus chance.
Announcement. What do they do?
No, that's too long, that's too long. It is all to do with the coronation. The whole thing is stages of the coronation, but the next one after investiture, enthronement. The monarch would be seated on the throne. My screen says also accept enthronisation. I most certainly will not. That's a horrible word I've ever heard. But I didn't hear either. Enthroning or enthronement would have been next. String section, what would you like?
The lion, please.
The lion. OK, what will be forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Oh, wow. Next. So a film that had six. Oh no, well no, you're right. Actually, of course. Is it specifically films, or is it, or is it just random words? You know, next, because next. Is there a 6 left? Is there a film?
There isn't
6.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
But it has to be 6.
3 seconds.
George VI.
Why?
It's film franchises, within the order number representing the number of letters in that word.
You are absolutely right. It is to do with the number of letters in the words. That's what I think you've spotted. They're not all existing films. Saw 3 is a real film about an evil, mad person who forces people to solve painful puzzles. I can't see why anyone would want to see anything that fits that description. Cars 4, Alien 5. Well, there is a Cars film and an Alien film, but there isn't a 4 and a 5. It's about the letters. And I just wanted to hear some sort of 6-letter film title, and you're presumably thinking of George, the 1972 movie about a mischievous St Bernard.
That one, yes. Yeah, that's the film we were thinking of.
The question is, was actually just saying in my ear, 250 pounds of lovable trouble. I don't know if he's paying me a compliment or if that's the strapline of the film, but George actually is a film, and if you added 6, you'd get a 6-letter word, and the 6 would represent the number of letters in the film title, so very well calculated. Headliners, your turn.
Dave.
Eye of Horus, please.
Eye of Horus. OK, what would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Oh, usually is a goalie. He's the goalie for Arsenal.
Next, please.
I think. Verdasco. No, they're tennis players, beg your pardon. Fernando Verdasco. So it's usually Verdasco. I don't know what the order is, though.
Next, please.
Janovic. So who would be the fourth?
It's going to be something more famous than that.
Well, it is, and they're going to be sort of finalists in Wimbledon. Or people who...
Who shall I say? I can't think of it.
You're going to have to say...
3 seconds.
Djokovic.
Is the right answer.
Well done. Well
Novak
done, mate.
Djokovic. Do you know why?
We know they're tennis players. That's about as far as we've got.
OK.
No, but they're good tennis players.
Yes.
They are. I'll give you an extra clue. Good tennis players, but not quite good enough. Do you know over there?
Yeah. It's Andy Murray's 4th round quarter-finalist, semi-finalist and finalist when he won Wimbledon in 2013.
It is the progression of Andy Murray to the Wimbledon men's singles title in 2013. He beat Mikhail Yuzhny, Fernando Verdasco, Jerzy Janowicz and finally Novak Djokovic in the final. So, good name, good reason. Together, you make a rather fabulous 6-part team. String section, it's your turn to choose a question. What would you like?
Water, please.
Water. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
It's not letters, I mean... Next, please. But, I mean, why are they equal to each other? I mean, again, we've got equal equation of letters, but we haven't got the same. Next, please. Oh, yeah, sorry. That's it, I don't know. Of course. First I equals I.
The answer is first I equals I, and why is that?
It's the old Exodus, an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. You may take this in retribution.
Exactly right. Exodus chapter 21, verse 24. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. Yes, it's the Bible verse relating to punishment. We're going backwards, of course, and it would start eye for eye. Well done. Headliners, what appeals to you? I'm hoping it's the Twisted Flax.
Twisted Flax is good for us.
Good choice. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Missouri.
State capitals. Next, please.
Madison, Wisconsin. Geographically close to each other.
Next, please.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Are these the smallest? Oh no, they're named after presidents. Look.
Oh yes.
So what's the most recent?
So are we going in time?
Yeah, I think we are. We're going. Jackson.
3 seconds.
Washington, D.C.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So, a last bonus chance for you, string section.
Well, it's Lincoln, Nebraska.
The answer is Lincoln, Nebraska. For a bonus, I need to hear everything perfect, and it absolutely is that. Why?
Well, these are presidents in order that have state capitals named after them.
That's right. There are 4 US state capitals named after presidents. These are the 4 in chronological order of when those people were president, and the next would be Lincoln of Nebraska. Well done. That means at the end of round 2, the headliners have 4 points, the string section have 9. Time now for that connecting wall which killed my dreamy child catcher to my delight last night. But never mind my delight last night. 16 clues, all jumbled up, need sorting out into 4 connected groups of 4. Headliners, you'll be going first this time. Please choose lion or water.
Lion, please, Victoria.
Lion. You have 2.5 minutes to find the 4 connected groups of 4, starting now.
Spinet, Erie, Capriccio, Italian, Grand, King 6, Spinet, Henry Winterman, Swan Lake, Suez, Eugene Onegin, Aaron Graf, Console, Player,
Cigars.
Right, Panama. Yep.
Castella.
Player,
Panama, Henry
Yeah.
Winterman,
Do you want to go
King
for possibly
6.
King? Oh, we've probably got too many too.
Yeah.
Go for brands.
Okay.
It's Panama brand. I think we've got too many too.
Piano types, grand piano
yes,
upright,
yes.
Spinet,
Spinet.
Capriccio,
Yeah.
Italian,
Right.
Piano console.
and grand.
Brand. No, it's
Player piano.
yes.
Grand.
Okay,
Leave,
player,
leave out upright.
yeah, Spinet and console,
Leave out.
Spinet.
We haven't, yeah.
Okay, let's try again. Eugene.
Ballets.
Pretend.
Yes, very good.
Okay, so the piano.
Erie is Canal, Suez,
Yeah.
Grand Canal, Panama Canal, Grand Canal. No,
Grand is canal. It's canal. Anything else now?
That's it.
Panama.
No.
No, okay, let's go for Grand Canal and leaving out Panama. Leave out Panama.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Strikes
so
and you're out now.
hang
Okay,
on.
so-
Castella, Henry Winterman's, Panama, and King's 6 are 4 different types of thing, but yes, and then the others pianos.
King 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
That's it. You've solved the wall. Very well done. So 4 points for the groups. What about the connections? The blue group starting with Hamlet.
These are all ballets, I think. Yes, ballets.
They are not all ballets. One of them is a ballet. What they all are is works by Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky.
Eugene Onegin is an opera. The Swan Lake is obviously a ballet, but the other two are orchestral pieces. Hamlet is you'd call it a tone poem, but not all ballets. Tchaikovsky is the connection. The green group starting Erie or Airy.
Canal.
Canals.
Exactly, they are
canals,
canals. Where
yeah.
are those canals?
Canada, America, Erie. Grand Canal is in Venice.
Graf, you said, is in Amsterdam, Dave.
It must be. Yes, it is.
The Suez Canal
Suez
connects
and
the Red Sea with the Mediterranean. There's actually 3 Grand Canals. The famous one is in Venice. The world's longest canal is the Grand Canal in China, and apparently there's one in Dublin as well. Lots of Grand Canals. The pink or purple group starting King 6.
We think they're all cigars,
They are all brands of cigar. And the last blue group starting Spinet.
types of piano.
They are all members of the keyboard family or pianos. Very well done. So 4 points for the groups you found, 3 points for the connections. That's a total of 7. We're going to bring back the string section now and get out the water wall for them to play. 16 new clues, still 2.5 minutes to solve it. So good luck. Your time starts now.
Okay, can I have it? Prime Minister? But there's no.
What do you have? Other office? Is there that seems to be.
Risk is a board game.
You can add B, you can add B. You could add
Bush,
B.
Bush, Brace, Brush, and oh yeah, okay.
Berendale.
That's it.
That's not a bad shout
Alright,
though.
there's something like that. I don't
It's an
know.
F.
What me?
I don't
Just
know what you could
out
add.
of interest, I've never heard of it as a word, but no. Okay.
Okay, some kind of bath, a particular kind of bath.
Order of the bath.
Oh yeah, all right.
there's not.
Bath buns. The city itself.
Turkish delight. Do you have a
Turkish
Turkish
delight,
bath?
Turkish
Carpet,
carpet,
yeah.
Turkish bath. Well
Turkish
done,
slippers.
Turkish coffee.
Slippers.
Yes, okay. So right, so
leave
let's.
out coffee. Let's leave that bath.
Well done. Okay.
Right.
So many words in quite a few of these.
Begin
That.
with,
Or bath bathe.
Vinny.
okay.
Oh,
Fowler,
As
Rush.
in-
They're all they're Liverpool players.
Oh,
yes.
Callahan. Busby. Well, no.
Originally, was he before?
That was.
Handel?
I'd like to see if I can.
Should we find it? If there's a football
minute
cabbage.
left.
No, there isn't.
Risk. Draw a bath.
That is a word beyond Jim.
Run a race. Oh, run a race, run a bath, run a risk.
Yep.
One errand. Well done. Okay, so let's.
3 strikes now.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I think you may be
So it's
onto something
like
with the
footballers,
footballers.
which leaves us with what? Probably cabbage. maybe
Van,
venison.
cab,
Oh yeah.
bus,
Do it.
and
Tank.
tank.
That's it. You solved the war. Brilliant. You were at sea for a while at the beginning there, but you've done it now. What can you tell me about the connections? Coffee, slippers, carpet, delight.
These things can all be Turkish.
You can put Turkish in front of all of them. What about the green group? Risk, bath, race, errand.
Things you can run.
Run a risk, run a bath, run a race, run an errand. That's right. The purple group, cabbage, busby, vandal, tankard.
First half of the word is a vehicle.
That's it. You spotted that right at the end there. There's cab, bus, van and tank hidden at the beginning. And the last blue group, Callahan, Venison, Fowler, Rush.
Liverpool footballers.
All Liverpool players. Yes, not cabbage, but venison, as I often shout when surprising my husband with breakfast. So you found all 4 groups. You told me all the connections. I will give you the maximum of 10 points. Very well done. Let's have a look at the scores. The headliners have 11 points. The string section have 19. Missing vowels time now. This is where we take the vowels out of well-known names, phrases and sayings. Teams, you have to work out what are those disguised clues. The first group are all Scottish authors. String section.
Ian Banks.
Correct. Strings.
Robert Louis Stevenson.
Correct. String section.
J.M. Barrie.
Yes, it is. Strings.
Ian M. Banks.
Well spotted. Next category, things on the menu of an Indian takeaway. Headliners.
Lamb Madras.
I don't mind if I do. String section.
No, sorry.
No, you don't know. Headliners
Keyman.
is correct. Next clue. String section.
Sagaloo.
That's right. String section.
Pilau rice.
Correct. Next category, consecutive shipping forecast areas. Headliners.
Soul and Lundy.
Well done. Headliners.
Rockall and Malin.
Correct. Headliners.
North Atsira and South Atsira.
That's right. String section.
Tyne and Dogger.
Correct. Next category, French novels. String section.
Madame Bovary.
Yes. String section.
L'étranger.
Not it, I'm afraid. Headliners, do you know? No time to tell me if you do. It's Stendhal's Le Rouge et le Noir, but the bell has gone for the end of the quiz, and I can tell you that after an excellent evening's quizzing, finishing in second place with 16 points, it's the headliners. The winners with 25 points are the string section. Very well done. You are straight through to the next round. Headliners, you may still make the next round. You've just got to divert round another quiz to get there. But it's the end of the show, which can only mean one thing. Yes, that crumble I put in the oven at the start is nearly ready. Hooray!